Hey, Booktube, Sean here. I know it's been a while again, couple months, 2, 3, I don't even know. Um, I made a video stating that I was back and all my theater commitments were done and I had time again and I was gonna be back in the saddle and reading and making videos, and then my work schedule changed. um, Went on increased hours at work and I'm still on them, but it's taken a little bit to get used to the new schedule. I mean, it's gone from 8-hour days to 10-hour days, but with my commute, that makes it about a 12-hour day or more, because I live about 45 minutes to an hour from work, depending on traffic, and in rush hour, that can be anywhere from, on the way home, that can be upwards of an hour and a half to 2 hours. But I've got it worked out now where I always work from home 2 days a week anyway. But then now on my days in the office, I'm working 8 hours in the office, going home and doing the last 2 hours there. So I miss that rush hour traffic, and it's really helped with my energy level and my mental exhaustion, and it just took a while to get used to that schedule and used to the new tasks. Is why I'm on the hours, as I'm helping out with another area of the business for a while. So yeah, and volume is high, so it's a lot of hours, and I'm also doing not only the mandatory 50 hours a week, but some extra time on the weekends now for some extra money. So I've been tired. I haven't been reading a ton. I've been trying. I have a buddy read going on with Stephanie at That's What She Read right now. We both have arcs of Scott Thomas's new novel, Violet, which comes out at the end of September. So we're working our way through that, but both of us are kind of going slow at it. She's got things going on, and with my work stuff, we're actually keeping a pretty good pace with each other right now. So yeah, that is what's been going on with me and why I've been gone. And I do miss doing this. I miss making videos, and I'm gonna get back to it. I was gonna do a whole state of the channel video, but I'm just gonna do a book haul video because I have a whole stack of books here, and just talk about this at the beginning, obviously. So I do, I want to get back to it, but it's gonna be more when I have time to do things. I've been thinking about just doing more single review videos when I get things read, because they're not as time consuming as wrap up videos. And so yeah, things might be I was just gonna say things might be a little different than you're used to, but you're not used to much from me this year. So but I am still gonna be around. I do want to get back to doing this more regularly, and I definitely want to get back to reading more regularly. In fact, I'm going to film another video today, even though I haven't been able to read much. I read like 2 novellas in July, and I think I'm at, let's see, I changed my Goodreads goal because I was 27 books behind schedule. So I changed my Goodreads goal to 25, and I've read 7. I'm 8 books behind schedule. Let's view my challenge to see what I've read. Yeah, of the 7 books I've read, 2 are novellas, 1 is a poetry book, 1 is a play, and 1 is a graphic novel that doesn't have words. It's in fact, I think I have it here just because I still have it out from the library, but it's The Arrival by Sean Tan, and it's a beautiful graphic novel. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's all, the story's told all in his artwork, and it's an immigrant story And God, just look at that. The artwork is just fantastic. And like, even though it doesn't got words, I took my time with it and just examined each panel to try and get the story, and it was really good. So I've only read 2 novels. One it could almost be considered a novella. It's not. It's a novel, but it's still short. That's My Sister the Serial Killer, and then the other novel I've read is The Rust Maidens. So yeah, it's middle of August, and that's what I've done so far this year. But I am going to film a TBR video for September, because Thomas at SFF 180 is doing his first ever readathon, Space Opera September, and that is just what I'm in the mood for. Hopefully I'm still in the mood for it in 16 days, or 17 days when September starts, as I'm filming this. But I do want to support Thomas in his first readathon and just see what I can get read, and hopefully maybe that'll kick me back into reading, even though I'm abysmal at readathons. But if you read one space opera, you've succeeded. So, but I'm going to make a TBR video for that. And I got this book haul that I should really get into right now. But yeah, I'm not gone. The channel is still going. It's just been a rough year for having time and energy to film and read, obviously, because I can't make book videos if I don't got books to talk about. So anyway, so here is yet another book haul video from me this year, because I don't stop buying them. So let's just get into it. The first couple books I have are the last couple of books in this round, because I really hope Valancourt does another round of this. They're more than I like to pay for this size of paperback, but I like the idea behind the collection. So I have The Tribe by Barry Wood and The Spirit by Thomas Page in their paperbacks from Hell series. So I now have the entire series, and someday I will read and review them all. Again, like I said, I may start doing more single book reviews than I normally do, rather than wrap-ups. The next book I have is Rachel of the Shades of Orange recently did a review of the 2 books in this series, and it sounded right up my alley. I was really interested in it, so I grabbed the first book, and that is The Traitor God by Cameron Johnston, and I will link Rachel's review video in the thing underneath the video. Brain is gone. But it's quick, so I'll read it. The Traitor God. After 10 years on the run, dodging demons and debt, reviled magician Edrin Walker returns home to avenge the brutal murder of his friend. Linus had uncovered a terrible secret, something that threatened to devour the entire city. He tried to warn the Arcanum, the sorcerers who rule the city, but he failed. Linus was skinned alive, and Walker felt every cut. Now nothing will stop him from finding the murderer. Magi, mortals, demons, and even the gods. Eldrin Walker will burn them all if he has to. After all, it wouldn't be the first time he's killed a god. Yeah, and Rachel gave this Rachel's review was really got me wanting to read this. So that is The Traitor God by Cameron Johnston. Now I got into a bit of a YA mood in July. I didn't fully finish any YA books because I haven't fully finished anything that I've started reading. But I did go on a little bit of a spree of grabbing them. And actually what kickstarted it was I got this in the mail from Alfred A. Knopf. And it is, that's all right, I'd only read a few pages. Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lynn. And this is, basically it's kind of like Mulan, but with tailoring. Are they calling it tailoring in here? With Mulan, but a Taylor story like Mulan. She the main character Maya goes in place of her father to possibly become the emperor's tailor. And it sounded really interesting. I've heard some good things about it, and it just showed up in my mailbox. And then I started thinking about other YAs that, I've been interested in the past and I've just never picked up, and it kind of got me into a YA mood. So I went to the library and checked out a bunch of stuff and never got to it. But what I did start is I started Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I don't think I really need to go into a ton of detail about this because this ends up all over Booktube every once in a while, especially when the series was ending. But it is a space opera story told from after the events, and it's told in the form of chat logs and files, and it's just really about 145 pages into it. Really enjoying it, and I was enjoying it so much that I went and I just went ahead and bought the second book, and I'm going to order the third book pretty soon so that I have the whole trilogy. And I think I mentioned in my last video, I don't know if it was the FlossTube video or if it was a Booktube video, I don't remember. I think it was a Booktube video, that we were adopting new kittens, which they're pawing underneath the door right now, and I have to have the door shut because my wife is in the living room on the phone on a meeting, so I can't have my sound traveling out and distracting her from her meeting. So the cats are the new kittens are pawing under the door, they're not making any noise, they're just wanting in. But 2 new kittens, and I've been working on trying to get them not to eat my books. So Illuminate has some little kitten marks in this corner, and Gemini has some down here. So I'm wondering, I get the third book in the trilogy where we'll get some little kitty bites and just make it a thing with the trilogy. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into that. I picked up the Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This is a series I heard about when I first discovered Booktube, because you know how when you first discover Booktube, the first thing you find is all the YA channels. So that's I kind of went back to some of the books that I was interested in back when I first discovered Booktube. And this is, I think, a 5, maybe 6 book series. YA fantasy. Aranos, privileged Princess Cleo is forced to confront violence for the first time in her life when a shocking murder sets her kingdom on a path to collapse. The king's son, Magnus, must plan each footstep with shrewd, sharp guile if he is to earn his powerful father's trust, while his sister Lucia discovers a terrifying secret about her heritage that will change everything. Rebellious Jonas lashes out against the forces of oppression that have kept his country cruelly impoverished, and finds himself the leader of a people's revolution centuries in the making. Witches, if found, are put to death, and watchers, immortal beings who take the shape of hawks to visit the human world, have been almost entirely forgotten. A vicious power struggle quickly escalates to war, and 4 young people collide against one another in the rise of Elementia, the magic that can topple kingdoms and crown a ruler in the same day. I just remember being really interested in this when I first heard about it. I really have to clean this room. I also picked up Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and this is I'll just read it. I know it's about where nobody dies and Grim Reaper is a job that is necessary now. A world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now Scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a Scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes only with a heavy price. And I know there's a sequel to this book, too. And that's just kind of an intriguing concept to me. This next book I just got came in the mail Sunday, I think. Not that you care. And I have never heard of it before. And on Thomas's Goodreads group, he has an entire Goodreads group for his readathon. He has an entire list of space operas written by women. And I saw this one on there, and the name caught my eye. And I looked into it, and it sounded cool. So I went ahead and I had a gift card, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Heliopause by J. Diane Dotson. It's book 1 of the Questrison saga. Flashes of light, an unseen menace, messages from the void, secrets at the edge of the solar system that threaten to destroy the universe. Mandira Research Station beckons at the Heliopause, the brink of interstellar space. After Forster sees flashes outside that no one else can, the captain of an incoming ship is attacked by an invisible foe. Forster and his enigmatic co-worker, Ephron, search for a missing daughter who might be the cause of it all. Can the team stop the Force from taking over Mandira and the entire solar system? So I'm kind of excited to get to this. I might try and get to this in Space Opera September. A little sticking going on there. Well, because I have an open slot in Space Opera September in case, well, you'll know when I get to the when I do the TBR video, but in case I can get to like 4 books. So I'm gonna have some options for that one. This, I'm surprised I haven't started yet, based on my schedule, maybe not, but I've been super excited for this all year. Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. I pre-ordered this. I've had this pre-ordered maybe since last winter, whenever pre-orders became available, maybe even the fall. But because I loved his Underground Railroad so much, and I want to go back and read all his backlist too, and that's how much I like the Underground Railroad. So I really wanted to get the Nickel Boys. I'm not going to go into a lot on this one. This one is making its rounds on Booktube right now. But it is inspired by true events at a school. I'm just not going because I'm getting close to the 20-minute mark, and I still got 4 more books to go, and I ramble. The next one I got is I finally got. You've maybe heard me mention this possibly in the Booktube horror tag. I don't remember, but it's Hellhole, an anthology of subterranean horror. I got this from the Books in the Freezer podcast. I'm a Patreon supporter of the podcast. I'm actually just a big supporter overall of the podcast. It's a great podcast for horror books, and Stephanie, one of the founders and hosts, is a good friend too. And when around Bram Stoker time, there was a Patreon supporter only episode about the nominees for the Bram Stoker, and in that episode, you could comment below with some of your predictions, and a couple of us won books because we predicted a winner, and mine was House at the End of the World. Or Cabin at the End of the World. I think that's the one I predicted. I don't remember, because the first novel category I just talked about them all and what my hopes were. But this has Rena Mason's long fiction win for this year called The Devil's Throat in it. So when I got the message from Stephanie that I'd won, and I could pick one of the nominated authors or books this is the one I chose because it was the only one I didn't have of the ones I wanted. Oh, I missed a YA one. So also for my YA binge, I got Django Wexler's Ship of Smoke and Steel. Django Wexler's just an author I've always wanted to read. I want to read his adult Flintlock fantasy series. And since I've been so interested in that, I figured this is the first book of his new YA series. I don't even know really much about it. I just grabbed it. This one I have started. This is Upon a Burning Throne by Ashaw K. Banker. This is a beast. And it is about, I'm just going to read this one. I'm going to fail at trying to explain it. In a world where demigods and demons walk among mortals, the emperor of the vast burnt empire has died, leaving a turbulent realm without an emperor. Two young princes, Audrey and Scythe, are in line to rule, but birthright does not guarantee inheritance, for any successor must sit upon the legendary burning throne and pass the test of fire. Imbued with dark sorceries, the throne is a crucible, one that incinerates the unworthy. Audrey and Scythe pass the test and are declared heirs to the empire, but there is another with a claim to power. Another who also survives, a girl from an outlying kingdom. When this girl, whose father is the powerful demon lord Jarson, is denied her claim by the interim leaders, Jarson declares war, vowing to tear the burnt empire apart, leaving the young princes Audrey and Scythe to rule a shattered realm embroiled in rebellion and chaos. I need to get back to this because I started it. I'm 141 pages in, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. So I really want to get back to this, but like I said, it is a beast, and it's over 650 pages. So it's going to take me a little while at my current pace of reading. And the final book I have for the haul is I finally went ahead and grabbed myself a copy of House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Oh my god. Okay. This is one I've been wanting for a long time. This is one of my most intimidating read. This is probably my most intimidating read, but I really want to finally read it. I've heard such fantastic things about it. I even checked it out from the library and tried it once. But, I mean, you have things like this, and sometimes you look through this and you're not even sure where you're supposed to read, but I'm sure once you start, it becomes clear. So that's it. That is kind of an update on what's been going on and a book haul for you. And I am going to end this video and film my Space Opera September TBR, which will be much shorter. So thank you to all my subscribers, everybody who sticks with me through the months of no videos. I appreciate you all. I can't even really put into words how much I appreciate everybody who supports my channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, sorry that you had to sit through me talking about how I am on and off this year. Hopefully that doesn't deter you. If you liked the video and want to see more as I hopefully get back to this, that was a great sales pitch. Hit the subscribe button so you're sure to know when I post new videos, and I'll see you all in the next one.